Hello, everybody, and welcome back to more Champion of the Gods. Last time, we ripped the tusks off of a boar. Now we're going to find out more about what we did and why our character that I've made, Pancakeeas, is overall just a jerk. I have some stems coming out of my ears, going down to an undisclosed location. Ooh. So, let's begin. Okay, so we're right where they left off. When you return home, your brother sits up on his mat and glares at you, sticking out his lower lip in a pout as mean as he can muster. His wakefulness does not escape your father. "Go back to sleep, Paracolis," father barks. "It is late." Paracolis begins sobbing again and lays back down. Your mother's eyes narrow, but your father does not acknowledge her look. He pours water into a bowl and drinks deep. "It was one of the great boars," he says to no one in particular. "Perhaps the Temak." Yet again, citation needed on all of these pronunciations, but I'm going to pronounce them how I think, how I want to do it. I've actually already been informed that some words I have no idea, but still going to say them wrong. Perhaps the Temak, Temash, Tamuch, who knows, are harvesting their piglets again, and we are left to reap the wrath of the full grown. No mention of your great deed, not even a note of thanks, no joy or pride in his eyes. At last he casts a glance at your mother, but there is no love in it, and the look she returns is just as cold. You lay on your mat and try to sleep, your young mind wondering what your actions today may have possibly done to make your father so angry. Perhaps my father is embarrassed that a child like me has done what he could not. Perhaps the boar was sacred to Hansinus. No, I'm not choosing that one. Perhaps I've made the whole village jealous of me. My new power has doubtless made me mad with envy. Perhaps I've frightened our village. I'm definitely going to say, perhaps I've made the whole village jealous of me. You can only hope that you were wrong. No, I mean, nah. Pancakeeas does what Pancakeeas wants. You awaken early the next morning, but your troubled thoughts do not allow you to return to sleep. You keep your eyes closed anyway, lying still and listening. You hear your father leave without a word to begin repairing the wall. You hear the washwoman collect Paracolis for the day. Finally, your mother stirs you. "You cannot fool me, Pancakeeas. I know you are awake. Rise, it is time for your lessons." Upon your arrival on the hilltop, the other children cheer unanimously. They've already heard your tales of victory over the boar, and now hear when they see one. They take turns letting you swing them around their arms, testing your immense strength. You feel proud to enjoy this moment in the sun, haunted by the implications of my powers may yet have for my family. Powerful indeed and ready to reap the rewards for such power. That's definitely a contender. Disappointed that my own father did not share my friend's enthusiasm. Surprised how easily my friends are amused. Truly, they are pathetic. Wow. I mean, it's definitely either proud to enjoy this moment or powerful indeed. I'm going to say powerful indeed because Pancakeeas is he's really overconfident in his massive strength. Finally, your instructor, Ricos, arrives. The reins of discipline in his hand are a sure sign that today's fun is at an end. Yet you find it difficult to focus on your lessons today. Your thoughts are restless. Besides, there seems to be something happening in the village below. "Look, they are gathering," whispers Hethikos, poking you and pointing down the hill. He is your favorite classmate, but he can be a terrible busybody, always sticking his nose into everyone else's business. "See how many people have taken to the streets. I bet the elders are being called to council. And look over there, Pancakeeas. It is your father. They must have called him, too." Whoa! Wait, you mean the guy that's in charge of the village? He's in charge of a lot of things. Maybe they called him, Athinkos is right. Your father is among the villagers now converging on the chambers of judgment. The other villagers seem to be giving him a wide berth. This commotion in the streets is no concern of mine at the moment. I must focus on my lessons. Probably the Timic nomads who greed and carelessness caused the boar to attack in the first place. Worrying indeed. I'm actually going to say worrying indeed because he's worried and he's already said that he doesn't care about his lessons. So the implications of the council meeting freight your mind and soon find yourself lost in worry. Perhaps the townspeople truly have lost their minds with jealousy, having been confronted with your obvious superiority. Perhaps your thoughts soon flee when you feel the reeds of discipline wrapping your back. You look up to see Ricos looming over you. Pay attention, Pancakeeas. When the sun begins to settle in the western sky, your lessons draw to a close, and you begin your descent to the village with the other children. You are only halfway down the hill when you hear Ricos' voice again. Pancakeeas, please return and wait with me. The children turn and follow your eyes. Atop the hill, one of the council's attendants is standing with your teacher. It is to clear the others that you visit with Megridos tonight. I will bring you to him at sundown. Megridos. Everyone knows the name. The old man who lives in a hut on the eastern edge of the village. I don't know, I'm talking like this. And dresses like a foreign king. The adults say he is healer, but the other children have another name for him. You can hear Athinkos whispering it under his breath now. The sorcerer. For your part, I am sure he's every bit the monster my peers say he is. I am sure those who think Megridos is a sorcerer is merely unaccustomed to his ways. I cannot rule out the possibility that he is a sorcerer. The world is a wondrous and dangerous place. I'm choosing that one. Healer, sorcerer, what's the difference? It's got a point. Ricos brings you to his hut at sundown. It looks like a tall, round bundle of dead wood. You cannot conceive how anyone but a sorcerer would live inside. He knocks on the door. An old man appears. He is draped in an elaborate robe, like those worn at festivals. His white beard betrays his age, though you suppose he must be proud of it, for it is braided and ends in 3 opal beads. And it must be Pancakeeas. Come in, come in. I hope the council hasn't worried you too much. I have only to ask you a few questions tonight, and you'll be off to your family again. Come in, come in. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. I'm just kidding. I added that last part. You enter alone. Dangerous to go alone. Take this. It's a little transition I've made up on the spot. His hut almost seems larger on the inside, though much of it is filled with strange objects, figurines with long arms and dark eyes, plates painted with images of great winged hounds, bulls with snakes' faces for handles. You are reminded of the Temple of Hansus, with its many offerings of thanks to the god. But the images on these objects are strange to you. They are from the eastern lands, Megridos says, noticing your attention to his wares. Depictions of the gods. They are gifts from my friends. He gestures to his cloak proudly. This is a gift too. It was given to me by the Ka himself. Ka! A most interesting man. The Ka! Most generous for one so powerful. Though he can be quite fussy to tell the truth. Ah, well, I suppose it comes from being the Ka! Is he like a bird man? Ka! That's, yeah, the Ka. Go, make fan art of the Ka. Have him be a bird man. Megridos looks at you as though he had forgotten you were here. But I am being such a rude host. You must be famished. Please help yourself to fruit. He gestures a lacquered bowl filled with grapes. You want to reach for them, but you remember the warnings of your friends. Megridos notices your hesitation. Hesitation? Hesitation. Why do you not eat, Pancakeeas? I tell him that if you see food given by a sorcerer, I make up a story about a bellyache, a dirty... I only pretend to... I'll just tell him straight up. I don't give the sorcerer. My boy, I'm a healer by craft. I wield no magic. Indeed, there have been no sorcerers in Negrosis since the end of the first age. But have it your way. I will eat the grapes myself. Well, at least you took that well. Megridos leads you to a raised table in the corner of the hut. Now, I must admit, I have many questions for you tonight. Before I start asking them, do you perhaps have a question for me? Why have the elders called me here? When can I leave? And what is the first stage? I'm going to start out with, why have the elders called me here? A direct question, to be sure. The elders have called you here because you did a great thing last night, and they'd like me to find out a little bit more about you. That is the simple truth, my child. Now, have a seat. You find one of the few places not covered in artifacts and sit down. So tell me of your battle, child. There is talk of your prowess all over the village. What was it like fighting the great boar? It was the happiest moment of my life to find that I possess such power. So far it seems to cause me nothing but trouble. It was thrilling indeed to best the beast. I merely did what was best for our village's protection. In my personal playthrough, I said so far it seems to have caused me nothing but trouble. I'm going to say it was thrilling indeed. Such choleric humor, Megridos remarks. I am not surprised. You have never heard these strange words, and have no notion how to respond to them. Sensing the confusion in your silence, Megridos continues. I was referring to the humor of your soul, my boy. Its mood, its character. Now tell me, how did you know you could fight the boar? How did you bite the boar? You just chomp into it. Did someone tell you that you would be strong enough to defeat it? It is a question you had not thought of before. In truth, you had no knowledge of your power before you used it. You tell Megridos so. He ruminates over your response for a few moments. In that case, I have another question for you. It may seem frivolous, but I assume that it is quite important. I assure you, it's quite important. I cannot read, ever. I am the worst. 0 out of 10. IGN. Worst reader. Megridos peers inquisitively into your eyes, and fixes his gaze there hard, as though he is daring you to lie. Where did you go when you dream? This is a strange question, to be sure, but you can feel Megridos' voice that he is a very serious person. Is there perhaps a place where you've been many times, a place that you dream about over and over again? You look back upon your dreams. You've been to so many strange places in them. It seems impossible to name them all, but indeed, there is one place you have dreamed of more than any other.